Very good afternoon to all my dear children. So, in today's science class, we are going to continue the 11th lesson. So, do you all remember the name of this 11th lesson? Yes, looking after our resources. So, I want everyone to take your science book first. Now, take page number page number 60. Okay, looking after our resources. As I already told you that the meaning for resources is the things that we are using it effectively. Okay, so natural resources means the thing which we are using, the natural thing which we are using, we are getting those things naturally. Okay, so here looking after our resources means how we are saving it and how are we using it. Okay, shall we? And this page number 60, we saw it in the previous Zoom class. Fuel, stop wasting, use other resources, right? Okay, what are the other resources? Sunlight, wind and water. Okay, so now everyone move on to page number 61. And in page number 61 we saw even forest, this topic forest. Now shall we all move on to the recycling next topic? Okay, okay, so everyone take page number 61. Okay, okay, recycling. A lot of trees are cut down to make paper. We can easily reduce the need for fresh supplies of trees by recycling old paper. Recycling means using the material of old things to make new things. Okay, so to make paper, lots and lots of trees are cutting down. So we can easily reduce the need for fresh supplies. How? By recycling the papers. Okay, old papers. So recycling means, first of all you should know, recycling means using the material of old things to make new things. Okay, using the, that means recycling means using the material of old things to make new things. Used paper, for example, is made into pulp in paper factories, and new paper is made out of the pulp. So how they will just make the old paper, new paper by using old paper? First of all, they will just take the old papers, they will make it into a pulp, like they will grind it into a paste consistency, and from that they will make a new papers. Okay, next, many other things like metals, glass and some plastics can also be recycled. Okay, many other things like not only papers, in the same process even metals can be recycled, glass, some plastics also can be recycled. Okay, recycling saves resources. Children, I want you all to underline this sentence. Recycling means using the material of old things to make new things, and recycling saves resources. So how can we save our resources? We can save our resources by recycling, by the process of recycling. Okay, now the next one, wildlife. The hunting of wild animals for their skin, fur, tusks, horns, and so on is one of the greatest threats to wildlife. Of course, wildlife means already I have taught you that it is related to animals, wild animals. Okay, so why the animals are being hunted? For their skin, for their fur, Fur means uh, the hair of animals. Over the body of the animals, we can see the hair. So that is said to be fur. Tusks, horns, and so on. So it threats the wildlife. Who is doing all these things? Of course, human beings are killing animals. The destruction of forests and the pollution of rivers and seas are some other threats. India and many other countries have banned the hunting of wild animals. Anyone caught hunting can be punished. Another thing that many countries have done is to set up wildlife parks and sanctuaries where animals are protected. So the destruction of forest and the pollution of rivers and seas, okay, this also threats the wild animals. So India and many other countries also, they have banned, stopped hunting of wild animals. If anyone is caught by hunting animals, definitely those persons would be punished. Another thing that many countries have done is to many countries have set up wildlife park sanctuaries. So where why sanctuaries has been created? To save the animals, where animals are protected. Okay, so you can see in this page number 61, so we have set up many sanctuaries and parks where wildlife is protected. Okay, this picture is a sanctuary. Okay, or you can say it is wildlife park. Okay, so now turn to the page 62. Next topic, soil. There are two ways in which soil gets harmed. Oh, soil gets harmed in two ways. How? It gets polluted by the waste we produce. It gets eroded by wind and water, of course. As I already told you that if there is no plants or trees on the land, what happens? The soil will become very dry and the soil become, what to say, the soil very soon it will get eroded. That is one way of getting harmed. And the second, another thing is the waste we are producing it, where we are throwing it. Of course we are throwing it on the land, so in that way also the soil will get harmed. Okay, so next topic you can see, managing waste. How we will manage waste? How can we manage waste? We can try to reduce pollution by managing our waste in a better way. Waste that comes from animals and plants can be turned into compost with the help of natural decomposers present in the soil. Okay, the waste which we are getting from the animals and plants, that we can turn into compost. Okay, with the help of what? Natural decomposers which is present in the soil. Okay, we can do this by throwing such waste into a pit and covering it with soil. So how can we make it? We can just make a pit. Pit means kuri. So we can throw such waste, animals and plants waste, into that pit, and we can cover that pit with the soil. Compost can be mixed with soil to improve its fertility. So what will happen now? Those compost, it will mix with the soil and it will improve the fertility of the soil. Okay, here they have given, you can make a compost bin for yourself. See, a wide mouthed bottle. So here you can use vegetable peels, cooked rice, soil in a layer, and one after another layer. For each and every layer you have to sprinkle water. Okay, so this is natural, what to say, compost. You can use this compost for growing, what to say, plants, trees also, and it improves the soil also, soil's fertility. Okay, you have already learnt that metals, glass, paper and some plastics can be recycled. Recycling saves resources and reduces pollution. Certain things like disposable cups and plates and thermocol can be neither decomposed nor recycled. It is better to stop using these. They pollute the soil and water bodies and choke drains. Okay, as in the previous page, we learned that metals, glass, paper, and some plastics can be recycled, right? So, recycling, even it reduces pollution also. Okay, certain things like disposable cups. Okay, disposable cups, you all know, plates, and thermocol. This and all, it will not at all decompose in the soil. So better we can avoid using these things, or else what will happen? Definitely these items, it will pollute the soil, it will pollute the water and choke drains. Okay, next, controlling erosion. Controlling erosion. How we can control the erosion? You know that soil that is not protected by plants gets carried away by the rain. Yes, if there is no plants, no trees on the soil, on the land, what will happen? Definitely the soil will be washed away when it rains heavily. Okay, this is especially true of the hills. Yes, in the hill stations or all, in the hillside, definitely this will happen. It is best to have mountains covered by trees. Yes, if there is no trees at all in the mountains, over the mountains, definitely the soil will get eroded. So best thing is we can plant uh, trees, saplings on the mountains. This also slows down the rush of water down mountain slopes and prevents floods. Okay, if there are plants, trees over the mountains, what will happen? If it is heavy rains also, the flow will become very slow and it will prevent floods also. But sometimes it is necessary to clear forest and grow crops on hill slopes. But sometimes it is necessary to cut trees, clear forest, okay, and we have to grow crops on the hill slopes. The best way to do this is to cut steps down the slope. So best way is we have to cut steps down the slope so that soil will not washed away. Okay, it will, even though if washed also, it will collect in the next steps. Okay, this kind of farming is called step farming. Please underline this thing, important. This kind of farming is called step farming. You can see this picture also. Step farming prevents erosion of soil. See, step farming. Dear children, please go through page number 61 and 62. As I already told you, after this lesson completed, definitely in the next class I will give you test till which page I have taken. Okay, thank you children.